Let's talk Tanya for the 13th of Shevat of a leap year. In yesterday's Tanya, we are talking about God's unity and how God's unity is such and to the extent that the creation of all the worlds didn't impact him in any which way, didn't change him. He was one beforehand, he's one afterwards, because everything that was created is only an expression of his creative power. And yesterday we also said how all of creation is a result of God's speech. God spoke and everything came into existence. And just as by us, our faculty for speech, our soul's capacity to speak is infinite, so our soul can say an infinite amount of words, and therefore any one expression that we say, any one statement that we say is utterly insignificant relative to our capacity to speak. So if all of creation is a result of God's speech, so we understand its significance relative to its source, which is God's capacity for speech. In today's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe is going to take it a little deeper. Because ultimately, when I say that any statement of mine is insignificant relative to my capacity to speak, why is that? As I said, because my capacity to speak, I can speak an infinite amount of words. But that is a quantitative insignificance. Because relative to an infinite amount of words, so 5 words or 10 words is insignificant quantitatively. But it's not qualitatively insignificant because ultimately 10 words relative to infinite words, they're both words. So they're both on the same scale. But what if we go deeper into the soul, deeper into the psyche? Let's talk about emotions. Are there words in emotions? There are no words in the emotions. You know, we speak words, we even think words. And that's why, it's reasonable to ask, what language do you think in? But can I ask you, what language do you feel in? Once we hit the insides, once we hit the actual structure of the soul, which is the feelings that we have and also the ideas and perspectives that we have, not the thoughts, but the deeper ideas that we have, words over here don't exist. We process our thoughts, we process our feelings and our ideas using the words of our machshava, of our thoughts. But essentially, once we go deeper into our psyche, words don't exist over there. So therefore, if I'm going to say a few words relative to my deeper attributes, my emotions, my intellectual capacity, it's not only that these few words are quantitatively insignificant, they're qualitatively insignificant. So the same thing is when we talk about God. Relative to God's capacity to speak, so all the worlds are quantitatively insignificant, but relative to God himself, the deeper attributes of God, the worlds are not only quantitatively insignificant, they're qualitatively insignificant, and therefore, obviously, relative to that level of God, all the worlds really don't make any dent, don't change anything in the status of God and his unity, and the creation of the worlds did nothing. With that, we've concluded this chapter. Tomorrow we will start the next chapter of Tanya, chapter 21, and we're going to dig a little deeper and explore the concept, what does it mean that God speaks?